Hello everyone and welcome to our next episode of the AEW Universe Mode. This is the buy-in for our first big pay-per-view. This is AEW Blood and Guts. Tonight we crown Hardcore Champion, we crown Tag Team Champions, and we crown AEW Champion. But first of all, we've been promised a big surprise by Tully Blanchard. Wow, what an absolute massive debut here on Blood and Guts. Now, we said before that a few weeks ago that Shawn Spears had requested Tully find somebody else apart from the Butcher and the Blade. Of course, they were supposed to be the enforcers, should we say, for Shawn Spears. And it never really went that well. They had two matches. They lost them both, leaving Shawn Spears at 3-on-1 in elimination matches, which was not great for him at all. And Spears just got annoyed. Tully was sent out to find somebody else to become the enforcers for Shawn Spears, and my word, has he really come out trumps here. We have the Revolt, we have Cash Wheeler in the ring, Dax Harwood on the outside, of course, formerly known as the Revival in WWE. FTR are here. And of course, this is a six-man elimination tag, very interesting match. And of course, the debuts for both Cash Wheeler and for Dax Harwood. Kip Sabian, currently in the rankings, is sat at a -2. Of course, Butcher and Blade had to find themselves a tag team partner in Kip. So desperate to get himself a point and get away from the bottom of those rankings. Shawn Spears currently also sat on a -2, as is Andy Williams and, of course, Braxton Sutter as well. So everyone in this match, well, apart from, of course, from the Revolt making their debut, but everyone in this match are pretty low in the rankings and could really do with a big victory here. Shawn Spears now taking Andy Williams back up to his feet. Nice strikes there. And it'd be interesting to see what sort of effect this has on Butcher and the Blade. Will they be aggressive to the fact they've been replaced, or will they just accept it and go on? I think not having Shawn Spears sort of looming over the top of them could allow Butcher and Blade here to really flourish in AEW. Give them a chance to push on and do what it is they want to do. I mean, no longer worrying about helping Shawn Spears. They can go on, they can fight, they can get themselves off the bottom of the tag team rankings, and they can hopefully push on and get themselves involved in the tag team championship division. How many tag teams? We've got an extra tag team now then, haven't we? We've got 19 tag teams, if I don't include the jobbers. If I do include the jobbers, we've got 23 tag teams. Maybe a tag team tournament should happen at some point. So we had that bang in the background. So Postman just put something through my letterbox, and the cat just went absolutely crazy and legged it. Like she'd never heard a letterbox before. It was the most scariest thing in the world. So at the moment, it's a pretty even match. Like I say, Kip Sabian could really do with a victory here. He is bottom of the rankings as we see Shawn Spears taking Kip onto the shoulders, but I don't think it was quite the right time as Kip was able to break free. Of course, I feel like we're going to see Kip Sabian as part of a tag team soon as well. I feel like Kip joining up with Jimmy Havoc, of course, those two guys know each other very, very well. They live together here in America. Those two as a tag team could be quite interesting as well. But talk about the rest of tonight's show. We are going to have not one Elimination Chamber, not two Elimination Chambers. We've got 3 Elimination Chamber matches. I know that's crazy. We're going to have one here on the pre-show, where we will have 6 men fighting to become the inaugural AEW Hardcore Champion. We've got one in our main event, of course. We've got Hangman Page, Pac, Matt Hardy, Lance Archer, Brody Lee, and Mox fighting to become the first AEW champion. But we're also going to have one other involving 6 guys who are not able to get themselves into the championship match, but it's just a really great way to really affect the rankings because, of course, the way that elimination matches work, you get a point for every person you eliminate. So it's a really good chance for the ranking system to really get thrown upside down here tonight and for someone to really make themselves a star. I mean, one good performance from somebody in one of these matches will throw them right to the top of the rankings. Plus, after tonight, like I said, we'll have 3 championships crowned. Of course, the Hybrid 2 versus Best Friends also tonight will be fighting for the Tag Team Championships. Also, Cody versus Dustin on the main card as well. And we'll also see MJF and Wardlow in competition as a tag team tonight as well, as they will take on the team of QT Marshall and Brandon Cutler making their first appearances. As we see attempted first eliminations there. It's Dax Harwood with a pin. It's only enough for a 2 count as Braxton Sutter was there to break it up. Yeah, I think after this pay-per-view we will look at bringing in the TNT Championship. We've still got a Cruiserweight belt as well that I'm considering. But I don't want to go too over the top straight away. As Sharpshooter locked in here by Shawn Spears. A finisher maneuver he started using quite a lot recently. Will it be enough to get the elimination on Kip Sabian? Oh, Kip surviving really well. Kip did survive really well. I'm surprised Kip survived that Sharpshooter, to be honest. Yeah, I was just thinking about the Cruiserweight Championship because that's something that probably Kip Sabian, Braxton Sutter as well would be probably involved in. I like the idea of Andy Williams maybe getting involved in the hardcore division at some point as well. He just has that sort of look about him that's like, yeah, I'm going to hit you over the head with something. What are you going to do about it? So I think that might be the case. I think with the extra championships, it's going to allow a lot more freedom to do a lot more stuff, I think. So the Cruiserweight belt is going to allow freedom for a lot of the tag team wrestlers, like both members of Private Party, both members of the Bucks. You can say we've got Braxton Sutter as well. To really step out of the tag team division and go for a singles belt if they want to. And the same with the hardcore division as well. That could really be anybody going for that. As Andy Williams now front chancery on Dax Harwood. I'm assuming that there would love to be a victory in the debut here of the Revolt. And Shawn Spears would love to get one over on, of course, the Butcher and the Blade as well. Shawn Spears yet to pick up a single victory in this universe mode because he's only wrestled as part of 6-man tag matches. So he'll be hoping he can get on top of this. And at the moment, looking at the ring, we can see which of these 2 teams is in control of this match. Kip Sabian now coming after Cash Wheeler. Catches him in that front chancery. Taking him up now into that suplex. It was almost like a brainbuster, actually. Dax Harwood's there to break it up. And this is really going to throw a real curveball into the tag team division as well, because the Revolt are an incredible tag team that I'm sure we'll see a lot of moving forward, as Braxton Sutter now trying to catch Cash Wheeler. Pin here by Dax Harwood, broken up straight away though. Andy Williams was still up on his feet. And Andy Williams taking Shawn Spears up and slamming him down. Can you imagine what would happen here if Shawn Spears was to lose this match? Oh my god, Shawn Spears has been eliminated. Shawn Spears has been eliminated by Andy Williams, my word. This could be a terrible, terrible debut for the Revolt. It's 3-on-2 now. Shawn Spears eliminated by Andy Williams. Andy Williams really getting one back over on Shawn Spears. And I tell you what, the Butcher and the Blade could desperately do with this win here. I mean, they really, really need it. Really need it. With what has been going on recently, like I said, they're bottom of the rankings. It's 3-on-2 now. This is going to be, I think, almost impossible here for the Revolt to get a win. If they do get a win, it's going to be very, very impressive. As I said, the numbers game is just getting them here. Braxton Sutter breaking up the pin on Kip Sabian as Andy Williams now just dumping. Oh, wow. Braxton Sutter with a pin. 1, 2, and 3. It's 3-on-1 now. Shawn Spears just can't catch a break, can he? He just can't catch a break. I still think, though, that no matter what happens here, the Revolt has still got to be a much better team for Shawn Spears to align himself with. It's not going well, though, is it, for him? Not at all. Big clothesline there for Braxton Sutter. Wow, Kip Sabian, Braxton Sutter and Andy Williams are going to get their first wins here, aren't they? I can't see this coming back now. I really can't see it coming back. And it's not been a great debut then, has it, for the Revolt? They were hoping to come in here and really showcase their ability, and it's not gone well at all at this point in time. But finally, the Butcher and the Blade are looking to get their first tag team point. They have lost 2 matches out of 2 so far, both alongside Shawn Spears. Now at this point, I would say the Butcher and the Blade would be trying to say that Shawn Spears was the weak part of that trio, not them. And I bet that's sort of, that'll be something they will bring up. And there it is. Braxton Sutter, Kip Sabian and Andy Williams pick up their first points in the ranking system. Shawn Spears now sits bottom of the rankings. Yep, you heard me right. Shawn Spears sits bottom of the rankings now. But of course, a lot of things are going to change here tonight. We have a lot of really big matches tonight, especially those Elimination Chambers that are really going to, well, change the landscape of AEW here. Great win. Braxton Sutter, Andy Williams and Kip Sabian. Kip decided to be in this match because he was desperate for the victory, desperate for that first ranking point. He got it, and Shawn Spears continues to search for a victory. And here we go then, debuts tonight for Brandon Cutler and QT Marshall as they go up against Wardlow and MJF, of course, of Dynasty. They've added EC3, the essential character, into this stable now, but EC3 is tonight going to be involved in one of the Elimination Chambers, so he's not involved in this match. But this is pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one pans out. Of course, there is a great need for a win for MJF and Wardlow. MJF has finally got himself out of the minuses in the rankings. Wardlow is currently on +1. A win here for the pair would obviously move Wardlow up to +2 and MJF onto +1, but more importantly, it would move the tag team up onto a +1 as well, Dynasty, the stable. We are freebirding it with a lot of the stables in the rankings. So Dynasty is, of course, going to be 3 members, EC3, MJF and Wardlow. However, any combination of those 3 will gain or lose ranking points for Dynasty. So we're not going to limit it to a specific 2, is what I'm trying to say. As Brandon Cutler controlling Wardlow in the middle of the ring. But Wardlow fighting back, tripping Cutler over, and now rolls him over into a Boston Crab as MJF... Wow, MJF! Jumping head scissors to the outside. Brandon Cutler able to break free from the Boston Crab by Wardlow. I'm sort of surprised, to be honest, that Wardlow actually had that maneuver in his arsenal. Not the sort of thing I expect to see from Wardlow, to be honest. Wardlow now taking Brandon Cutler up. And there's a power slam. And Wardlow now controlling Cutler on the inside, and it's been a wise sort of tactic so far. That's my tooth coming back to haunt me again. So far, by Dynasty. MJF controlling QT Marshall on the outside and allowing Wardlow the time he needs just to pick off Brandon Cutler on the inside. However, it's not going 100% to plan as Brandon Cutler swinging the kicks into Wardlow, but now Wardlow catching Cutler. What is the plan here? Wardlow taking Brandon Cutler up into that suplex. Wow. Super duperplex. And now there's the armbar locked in here by MJF as Brandon Cutler just gets powerbombed, and it's a big win here for Dynasty. It was a short match, that one, actually. Very, very short match. But it's the sort of victory that Dynasty needed. They now move up in the tag team rankings onto the pluses. While Brandon Cutler and QT Marshall, don't know if we'll use them again in the future, but we've added them into the tag team rankings anyway, just in case. Of course, QT Marshall was also in a tag team alongside Dustin Rhodes. Brandon Cutler and QT Marshall also get a -1 in the rankings in the singles division, while Wardlow and MJF both get a +1, and that has made a big difference. MJF now finally in the plus side of the rankings. Brandon Cutler and QT Marshall drop into the minus side of the rankings. Great victory then for Dynasty, and we are about to crown our first AEW champion as the chamber starts to descend. It's time for the Hardcore Championship Elimination Chamber. And here we go then, kicking things off. We've got Joey Janela and Darby Allin starting things off in the ring. As you saw as well, we have got Dr. Luther, Michael Nakazawa. We have also got Jimmy Havoc and Pentagon. Wow, Pentagon's the big one. We weren't quite expecting a man of that level to turn up in this match, but he is here. And they are in the pods ready to enter this match. Of course, this match will crown our first AEW Hardcore Champion here inside the Blood and Guts Chamber. Should be interesting. Janela and, of course, Darby Allin rocking the bad numbers, getting number 1 and 2 in this one. They'll have to survive for a while until everyone else enters the match. But, of course, remember the way that it works as well. We give a ranking point for every person you eliminate, and we minus a ranking point for being eliminated. Now, Darby Allin is quite low in the rankings at the moment. This is a great chance for him tonight to move further forward as Dr. Luther, someone who's quite high in the rankings. He is on a +2, I think. Yep, after getting a win in a triple threat match. So Dr. Luther now enters the match, rocking some sort of Nazi-esque sort of attire for some reason. Joey Janela just knocking the heads of Luther and Darby Allin together. Now Luther just working alongside Joey Janela to take out Darby Allin. Luther's just working with anyone he can get a hold of at this point. And Luther's going to be a big one in this match because he is a big one. At the end of the day, he's a big lad. He's definitely going to have the size advantage in most of this match. We count down then, looking for the next entrant. Jimmy Havoc, Pentagon Jr. and Michael Nakazawa are still inside the pods. And it's Pentagon who gets the nod. Pentagon enters the match. Like I said, Pentagon is probably going to be the strongest one in this match, you would expect. And he's doing a good job here of avoiding Dr. Luther. Yeah, Pentagon, surprised he's involved in this one. Of course, there wasn't anywhere else on the card for him to be at this point in time. We know that he does involve himself in quite a bit of deathmatch wrestling in Mexico and so forth. As Janela, they're trying to clothesline Luther, but Luther just ate it up, really. Now Luther, wow, Samoan dropping Janela over the top rope onto that matted steel. It's still very, very hard, though. Oh, super kick there by Janela on Luther on the outside. As we get the final, not the final light, the one from Final Light. It's Michael Nakazawa, which means that Jimmy Havoc has been the lucky one who's going to get the final entry into this match. Jimmy Havoc's going to be the fresh one. But can he take advantage of that situation? That's going to be the big question. Janela now taking down Michael Nakazawa. And locking in a figure 4 leg lock. Wow, okay. Can Janela get the first elimination here? No, Nakazawa rolls it over, reverses the pressure. Very painful. Was nice jawbreaker there by Darby Allin on Dr. Luther. Luther, I still think, is going to be the scary one in this match because of his size. I say Darby Allin could really do with a win here. He is very low in the rankings. Darby's now up on the top, dropping an elbow right into the spine of Janela, as now in comes Jimmy Havoc. All 6 men are now released. One of these 6 men will become our inaugural AEW Hardcore Champion, but which one will it be? That is the big question. Havoc straighten the pin on Darby Allin. Only a 2 count. Of course, Darby started the match alongside Joey Janela. Those two are the ones that have taken the most damage so far, you would expect. Janela still trying to work over Luther. Not quite sure that's a wise idea because Luther, like I said, is a big man, but Janela will have a speed advantage on him. As Havoc's up on top of the pod. Havoc, wow, what a splash by Jimmy Havoc from the top of the pod. We know if there's anyone who's going to go balls to the wall, it's going to be Jimmy Havoc here. He has no fear. And a Canadian destroyer by Jimmy Havoc on Darby Allin as well, but doesn't go for the pin. Brings him back up to a standing base as there's the DDT by Luther on Joey Janela. Luther now dropping into the pin. 1, 2. No, only a 2 count. We still have the full 6 men in this match. Luther now taking Janela up into a jackknife powerbomb. Wow. 1, 2, and 3. Joey Janela is eliminated by Dr. Luther. We'll update the rankings as we go along. That moves Janela down to +1, and it puts Luther up to +3, which is crazy. Pentagon now with the pin on Michael Nakazawa. Pentagon currently sat on +1 in the rankings. Pentagon now taking Nakazawa up. Package pile driver by Pentagon on Michael Nakazawa. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. Pentagon gets the elimination on Michael Nakazawa. As we see Jimmy Havoc also trying to pin Darby Allin. And is that an elimination as well? No, it wasn't. It was. Jimmy Havoc got the elimination there on... Oh, I'm getting confused now, aren't I? Jimmy Havoc, where are you? So, Darby Allin got eliminated. Michael Nakazawa got eliminated. So I just need to give Jimmy Havoc a +1, and we're up. As Pentagon, the pin now on Luther. Where's Jimmy Havoc in all of this? Is he on the pluses? I'm going to have to sort it by name. That'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it, really? Jimmy Havoc, he was on the mediums. He was on 0 at this point in time. Havoc now with a pin on Dr. Luther. And Havoc gets the elimination on Dr. Luther as well. So Havoc's having a great night here tonight. He's got 2 ranking points now. But it's now down to Havoc and Pentagon. Dr. Luther gets a -1. So he ends up tonight where he started, really. And it's all down to Pentagon and Jimmy Havoc here, who will become our first hardcore champion here in AEW. And I'm not surprised it's between these two, to be honest. They're both incredible talents. Pentagon now with a pin. 1. Only a 1 count. Jimmy Havoc with 2 eliminations here tonight so far. Has really improved his rankings. Pentagon bringing Havoc back up, and Havoc now with the uppercut on Pentagon. Another forearm and a headbutt. But Pentagon now pushing Havoc away and into the sling blade. Pentagon. Nice over-the-top cutter as well. And now Pentagon heading up to the top. Oh, Pentagon going all the way. Pentagon, oh, massive dive by Pentagon onto Jimmy Havoc, but Pentagon does damage to himself as well, and able to drop straight into the pin. And brings Havoc back up to his feet. Pentagon's not finished yet. There's the boot in the guts. Locking in the pump handle slam. The pump handle neck breaker. The pump handle package. Whatever you want to call it. And now Pentagon looking for the arm breaker as well. Oh, wrenches back of that arm. Sheer brutality for Pentagon. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. We have your first hardcore champion here in AEW. It's going to be Pentagon Jr. Surprised he was even in this match, to be honest. But he is an absolute beast, isn't he? Absolute beast. Jimmy Havoc does move into the pluses, though, in the rankings, which is great for him. And Darby Allin joins Shawn Spears at the bottom of the rankings. And our first champion is crowned then. Pentagon Jr. is your first hardcore champion. Our inaugural hardcore champion. Boom. Nice. Very, very nice, Pentagon. As we issue him there with a championship belt. AEW Hardcore Champion, Pentagon. Now that is only the first of our 3 elimination chambers here tonight. We've got 2 more on the main card for you. We've got 1 for the AEW Championship, 1 involving 6 men who are desperate for rankings. And of course on the main show we'll also have Cody versus Dustin Rhodes in that blood feud, as well as the Hybrid 2 versus Best Friends fighting out for the Tag Team Championships. If you have enjoyed this pre-show, please do hit a like or subscribe if you would like to see some more. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for the remainder of the show. Bye.